We now shift gear to NGO activities in the state. This time, the Lagos State government says it will partner with non-government organizations and civil society groups to attain development and improve social indices in the state. This is according to the State Commissioner for Economic Planning and Budget, Sam Igube, who made this comment during the very first State Development Partners Initiative NGO Summit in Alausa, Ikeja. Take a look.
The Lagos State government is making efforts to touch lives of residents through different social intervention programs like the State Universal Health Coverage, popularly called Ilera Eko, the Mother, Infant and Child Development Program, Agriculture Empowerment, among others. But the state government says it cannot achieve all these initiatives alone without creating partnerships with some private bodies like the non-profit institutions. To streamline activities of NGOs in Lagos State, the government holds an NGO summit at the State Secretariat, a development partners initiative which is the first of its kind in the state, as it hopes to rub minds with such organizations operating in the state to lift up members of the society who need a helping hand.
The scope of NGO activities include, but are not limited to, environmental, social, advocacy and human work initiatives. They work to promote social or political changes on a broad scale or locally. They also play a critical part in developing society and improving the communities. The purpose of the summit is to build strong partnership that will attract donor support and technical assistance in different sectors of the state's economy while enhancing the state's socio-economic and political development through collaborative initiatives with development partners. The summit will also create an avenue to bring together the grassroots NGOs and form a consortium for better networking opportunities to partner with larger local and international NGOs.
It becomes germane to bring together the NGOs across the state, intimating them on the process and procedures of government with the aim to help to drive our individual programs and objectives from the angle of the themes and agenda of Mr. Governor Babajide. It is also an avenue for the creation of a platform that will allow NGOs to have direct contact with government, and so that we can organize regular interactive fora which will serve as a feedback mechanism on the activities of both government and NGOs.
Commissioner for Economic Planning and Budget Sam Igube makes his presentation, highlighting different areas the government has invested in that the NGOs can also be a part of.
And like Lagos, governments need to respect the people and recognize them, right? And why is that? The truth is that how much can the government probably get? The government probably will get 15 to 20% of your earnings. But it's not that 15% that is required for development. You need to know what the citizen would do with the balance 80%. How would they invest it? How would they save it? How would they interact with their spend? It is that spend and what they do with it that actually brings about economic activity. So every time when people look only at government for development, you are only looking at 15% of the, or 20% of the income generally that comes, that is available to the state. As NGOs, right, one of the things we're saying is that we need to ensure that our citizens are participating very actively in various ways, of which taxes is one of them, of which voting is another one of them, but just generally getting engaged with government on a regular basis actually causes the mind of the people.
The aim is to create partnerships with non-governmental organizations and allow them key into the state government's initiatives that will also drive their individual programs.
The Institute for Sustainable Development and International Relations, a global independent research institute, highlighted 5 activities that the NGOs, 5 roles that the NGOs fulfill and how they all align with the SDGs. The first is holding the government to account. We all know that there are many NGOs that do this. There are NGOs, global NGOs like Greenpeace, for example, that hold the world to account, not just the government. And it's the role, and the SDGs brings value to this by helping you to speak with a united voice. So you're speaking on an issue. It's not personal. It's not, directed at any administration. This is the challenge that the world is facing, or our part of the world is facing, and this is what needs to be done. Actions are clear, metrics are clear. So it makes it very easy to speak with a unified voice and to establish common positions. So it strengthens your argument. So with these frameworks, because they're facts, they're empirical evidence of what's happening in different locations, and there's scientific evidence, it makes it very easy to be able to communicate your position, but also in a non-contentious way, because this is a framework that all stakeholders are signed on to. So that's one way, that's one function that the SDGs perform. And please don't be mistaken, this government appreciates the feedback. We want to hear from our NGOs, communities here. There's a massive opportunity for NGOs, CSOs to create awareness. Awareness not just of the problems, but of the pathways to the solutions that are out there. There's the opportunity to help to shape a new mindset. The reason why the entire world is where we are is because of how we have lived. The only way we're going to get out of it is by changing how we live, by developing a new mindset so that we can have a different future.
That's not all. The state government says the summit is geared towards making sure that efforts are not being duplicated.
This is the first one, so you are correct. We are meeting with NGOs, non-governmental institutions. They played a lot of role in developing and building the society. It is part of the resilience strategy of this government to build partnerships. And in times of crisis, even in times of no crisis, it's not only the government that is intervening. You have civil society groups also intervening. And we saw it during COVID. The government did intervene, but civil society also intervened. What I always say is that the people are powerful indeed. What government gets in taxes is a small percentage of their earnings. But civil society entities are able to mobilize additional funds in their various sectors and communities to intervene in interesting ways that make life better for the citizen, which is also a role that the government pursues. And therefore, they represent a very formidable set of partnerships that we need to cultivate. And that's why we're having this summit today, to bring everybody together, to bring other ministries of government together, to interact with these great partners of ours and to expand those partnerships for the future so that the people of Lagos can benefit in an increased way going forward.
Outside of bridging the gap with them is also to build relationships and partnerships, so for them to get involved a lot more, to join this mission of creating the greater Lagos, and yes, that's really what it's about, and building that new relationship, that new discussion, and this has never been done before, so it was important that we made them feel that they can also trust government and they can work with government. And ultimately what we wanted to achieve as well is, when people are passionate about what they do, sometimes it will lack strategy. So this event was to sort of upskill them so they can be more strategic about their thinking and the solutions they are trying to provide to the community, and also avoiding duplication of effort.
For these organizations, the proposed partnerships is a great idea.
Looking at this NGO summit that has been led by the Ministry of Planning and Budget Planning and Economic, it's really fantastic because now we know that we can get information on how we can partner better with government, and knowing that also our partnership with government goes beyond just funding, and this partnership can help us as NGOs be credible and also help us achieve more the things that we have set out to achieve as NGOs. I think this is really very good.
I mean, we're looking forward to the opportunities coming from these sessions that we've had today. I mean, more opportunities to collaborate with the NGOs, and government really focused on the opportunities they also have in government for us to partner with them. I mean, government, they have laudable ideas, but how can we harness these opportunities?
The Lagos State Development Partners Initiative is received with open arms by the non-profit organizations who say they are ready to collaborate with the government to achieve the social protection policy for the people.
Indeed, that's the program for this week. As always, thank you so much for watching. I'm Ayo Tunde Balogum. Until we come your way again next time, please stay safe. Bye-bye now.